Hello. How you doing? You good? Good. See ya. Just kidding. Hello, and welcome to another tutorial. And today we're going to be doing some funky things with particles. Some things that you never thought possible. Ooh. Stuff like this. These are all particles. I literally just put this video up on YouTube, and I've already had a comment on it saying, "Did you use 3ds Max for this?" No, I didn't. This is entirely After Effects. Unfortunately, you do need Trapcode Particular, but you can get the demo of it. You might get across on it, but it's still good. So, yes, I'll be showing you what I'm creating. Okay, and also in this tutorial, it's going to be linked to sound and music, but I can't play the music for copyright reasons. Blah 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 blah. So that's why I've turned sound off. And I don't think it would even record the sound because it's rubbish. Sorry, just insulting my computer there. So this is linked to music, and so you'll be finding out how to make it go to the music. It looks a lot better if it's to music. There's an annotation on the screen now to go to this video on YouTube. It is here. Yeah, and you can see it's already found. There's music on it, so it's got some ads going on it. Did that play music? No, it didn't. Whoa, full screen, no deal. Yeah, so 3ds Max. Nope, just After Effects. And I am making a tutorial. So Zach33N, this tutorial's for you. So we're finding out how to make this. Just to let you know, the more particles you use, it can get very slow and CPU intensive, so watch out, homies. I also added some depth of field, and it just makes it look a whole lot nicer. Yeah, and the reason why there's a white screen at the end is because I stopped it halfway through because I was getting bored. Because I would get really bored with these renders. Did one which was going to take 30 hours, so I stopped it at 16. So we're going to be creating. It's a simple comp. It's very easy. It's just the one particle system. That's the background, that's the music. We don't really need the position. The camera for the depth of field. High and low, this is where we take the audio and turn it into keyframes, and the high one is the high frequencies, the low one is the low frequencies, and you'll understand later. And there's a light for the shading, which is always nice because it looks nice, and a glow because everyone loves a glow. So, I'm going to make my new project. No. So new comp. I like to keep this comp because it's nice. I'm going to go 720 because it's quick. I like that frame rate because it's more film-like. There we go. Yes. So you import the music, drop it into the comp. Let's just, if you hold shift, it will snap to it. Trim the comp so it's now the right size. So now I'm going to duplicate this and turn off that. We're going to rename this by pressing enter, Idge. So we know that's the original. We're going to call this one low, duplicate it again, call it high. So we're going to start with the low one first. We're going to go to effect, audio. You can use audio, bass or treble, or high and low pass. We're going to use high and low pass just because it's simpler. And you want to use low pass, and you do the same with this one and the high pass. So what that does is it takes out all the low frequencies, all the brrr sounds, the really low sounds. It's all measured in hertz, and anything below a certain amount of hertz is taken out. So you're just left with the high bits. I'm sorry for that chipmunk impression. It's just a funny noise. And it does the same with the low ones. It keeps the low sounds, take out the high ones, so it sounds more. Yes. So the reason, and we've kept the original because we don't really want to hear some or sound music. We just want the original. So now we're going to go for the high one, and it doesn't matter which one. And we're going to go to keyframe resistant. Right click, keyframe resistant. I'm going too fast. I hate it. and convert audio to keyframes. So then that will convert the audio levels to keyframes. But there is one problemo. I pressed U and that's what you get, but the values do change. Must have not gone wrong for me the first time I did it. I'm going to rename this one high, just so we know what's going on. I'm just going to turn that on, just so it's good to turn it on, and do the same with this one. Create keyframes. I have emails on my phone. Is that done yet? No, I'm just going to keep checking my emails. Thank you for that. Facebook and Twitter, yes. Okay, done. So we're going to rename that one low. There we go. Now we can just delete these because we don't need them. So now we have an adjustment, or well, a null object with 3 sliders, and these values will change depending on how loud the the volume is. And so we have the right channel, which is basically what you do on the right, and same with the left, which is basically so obvious. I just stick with both because it's like more of an average of the two. So we are going to just collapse that. So now we're going to make the background, because we do love good backgrounds. We're going to make a new solid and call it BG for BFG? No, BG for background. Now we're going to go to Effect, Generate, where'd it go? Effect, Generate, Ramp. So this top colour, we're going to make it slightly more orange, and a very, very, very pale orange. If you want that's the HTML code for it, if you want it. And then we're going to take the eyedropper, click the same colour, and then we're going to make it darker. So now we have a sexy looking, just going to turn these off because we don't want to see a box, gradient. We can, if you can't see that, I'm going to make it a bit more obvious. So it's darker on the top, lighter on the bottom. We can make the gradient a bit bigger. Now we're going to add a vignette. Now because I don't know how to spell it, we're going to call this layer Vig, because apparently that's how you spell it. Now if we click and hold on the rectangle thing, we can find the ellipse tool, and if we double click on it, it makes an ellipse around the comp, or the layer. Yes, layer. So now we're going to make it subtract. It should automatically do that. If you press M, you can find it. And we are going to increase the feather. There we go. Now press T. 75, is that good enough? I'd say 50. No, 60. Let's make in the middle, yeah. So now we have a vignette, which is basically dark around the edges, as you can see. I did add some other bit, but I don't think that's really necessary. So now, camera. Make new camera. And it's all the way over here. And 42. No, we want. Let's go for 28mm. This is basically like a real film camera where you can choose the focal length. If any photographers watching this, you'll know what I mean. Ignore this because we are not going to have any 3D layers. We make a new solid, and that will be, you guessed it, the particles. And it doesn't matter what color it is. We're going to go to Effect, Trapcode Particular, and there we go. Done. Goodbye. Just kidding. That's awful. That's an awful tutorial. Terrible tutorial. Now I'm going to make it full because I can, and we are going to. What are we going to do? We're going to make it a directional, so it only goes in a certain direction. Now I can show you this by making the directional spread to 0, and rotate it so you will see it's going in a line, but that's not what we want to happen at the moment. We're going to put that about 5, and we are going to use some expressions in this, but don't worry, they're very simple. So we're going to alt click on the stopwatch and type, this is very simple, don't worry your little cotton socks, time asterisk the star times 1. So every second the rotation will go 1 degree, as you can see. Now we're going to do the same with the Y. Time times 1. Press enter, not return, enter. It's on the pad. That's a bit slow because that's a minute. So let's increase it to 10. There we go. Now they're moving. We can add a bit of motion blur. If you can't see it on here, press F4 or press this button here. But my F4 key doesn't work, so I need to press another button. And then we check motion blur and motion blur. But these particles are moving way too slowly for motion blur. So let's do some funky on down stuff. Now you saw, let's just bring this up. In this, they are lines emitting from the particles, but here they're dots, and that's not very good now, is it? Let's increase this to 10 just so we've got more spread. Now we're going to take the particles per second and change it to 3. Now that may look like, oh, it's only emitting that many. That doesn't matter. So, but first we need to link the particles to the audio. Now, with this, you can do it whatever way you want. You can link the velocity to the audio, the particles a second, the rotation, the speed, anything. We're going to do it on the speed. Now, this is a very awesome feature. Physics time factor. This basically slows it down or speeds it up. And sometimes, and I've done it before, you can slow it down so much that it goes into super slow motion, so it's just like, and that was my super slow motion noise. If you've ever seen the slow-mo guys on YouTube, it's basically like that. You can see it's slow motion. Like if you've got a really fast explosion going bang, you can slow it down, and then it's just got lots of particles. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to show you. Yeah. So we're going to do the high frequencies. So the plinky plink of the piano, because there's a piano in this. And we're going to go for the both channels one. So we have selected it here. We now go back to the particles, find time factor, and click on the stopwatch. This is very simple. We click on the pick whip and we go down to that. So now we can collapse everything else. I'm just going to mute this. You can see it's doing, it's more erratic, you might say, sporadic. I don't know. Okay, that's going very fast, so we can slow the velocity. Ooh, that's too much. If the amount's too much, we can press U. If it's moving too much, we can divide the amount by 2. So then it's divided by 3 if you want, depending how slow you want it. There we go. So that's just the basic setup. That's all you got to do. If you link a value to to the audio, and you find it's going too fast or too slow. If it's going too slow, just put on the end of the expression times 2 or 3, and that will basically double the number. If you want to offset it, you press plus, you type in plus like 100, and then it will offset the value by 100, so you can move it around and things. So that does not look like lines, does it now, children? No. Now, here's an amazing feature which I bet none of you have found out or discovered or know what it is. The aux system, the auxiliary system. Now this is the single greatest discovery I've ever found. You will see what it does. Continuously. It basically, the particles emit particles. How awesome is that? Now, let's have a look. They are looking very multicoloured, so let's color over life. Now these particles, you have mostly all of the same settings, you can say, as the normal particles. So we're going to just change the color. I'm going to make it like a pale brown, and then this one a dark brown. And just drag that out. Now, still, these aren't looking like lines. I also want to add some turbulence first, so we're going to go to Physics, Air. I'm going to visualize the fields. So these lines are the air turbulence fields. We can see how much noise there is in the air. And it's always a good idea to add some turbulence to, depending on what you want to look, how you want it to look. It's always a good idea to add turbulence because it makes it more random and look more natural. So we're going to, for this, we're going to make the position very big, and we're going to bring the scale down to about 5. So you can see they are moving like that. Now you can change the speed of this to about 25 and half it, so the noise moves slower. We can scale it down so it's more subtle. I think we can mess around with this. So we can increase the velocity so it spreads out a bit more, like so. But then they're moving very fast, so we can add some air resistance, so about 1. So then that will add some drag into it. So then it starts to look very unique. We just turn that off. So I will render this out and put the preview for this on the tutorials channel, so you can see what it looks like. Oh, I can't. I will put it on another channel. Yes, I'll put it on another channel. It's a silly audio copyright things. We can't put it on because we want to keep this channel clean. You may have noticed we have ads finally. Excuse me. We're not partners, but we can have ads and we can make money from them. So please don't be hating on the ads. It's a good thing. We're getting on in the world of YouTube. Okay, so now you can see these are looking quite funky. They're not turning into lines. So, to make them lines, we're going to go back to the aux, we're going to turn that off. And we're going to make them last for about 3 seconds. Actually 6. No, 6. 6 is a bit longer. Bam. That's 36. 6. Still, they're not lines. They're very blobby looking, holy blobby things. So, simple fix, we just increase the particles per second. We have lines! You can thank me later. So now, we have some quite funky looking things going on. Now, motion blur doesn't always help with this, and so I'm going to just turn it off. If you find there's a bit of there's streaks going on it, you can increase this number. So it will make the line look a lot smoother. I'm going to add a bit of orange. Now that's going quite fast. I'm going to increase the divergence, the directional spread, to about 20. And what else am I going to do? One more thing. Yes, colour. I'm changing the colour. So colour over life. I'm going to add a little bit of orange into this. So just make a bit more orange. There we go. And also we want to change the size over life. So we are going to this is very handy. We can have it either starting off big, going small constantly. We can have it flicker so it goes. We can have many funky things going on. I'm going to choose this one. Now the good thing is we can draw on this, so we can make it do lots of weird funky shapes. but we don't want that. We just want it to do. I'm just going to reset that. We just want it to start big and then go smaller at the end. And you can smooth it to make it look all nice and dandy. Now do a RAM preview of this. This is going actually surprisingly fast. This is at full res and it's quite a lot of particles going on here. So changing the size basically adds more, just makes it look more awesome. I'm going to be using that word a lot. Okay, I'm going to just see what's happening here, because this is getting very big. The velocity! The Velociraptor! Sorry, I just watched Jurassic Park. Awesome film. We should make it a bit smaller. I think there's not enough turbulence on this, so increase that a bit more so they move a bit more. That's looking nice. And you can see there's a few dots on there, so we can, I think we can increase it a bit more. We can go to 225, so there we go. Doesn't that look cool and awesome? Now, we can make it look even cooler by adding, you guessed it, a light. Make sure it's a point light, can be called anything. And there we go, it looks amazing. No, jokes. We need to add some shading. So we are going to go here, and go to shading, turn it on. And now we need to make it lighter. So I'm just going to go to the top view, and move it back here. Thank you. Go to the camera again, and then we go back to particles. So now here in the shading we can change the light settings. Now that looks very white, so I change the diffuse to 1. Too much. 5. Okay, 10. I had to go very low last time. Actually 2000. So it's spread. That's basically the light spread. How far it goes? No, 2000. That's 20,000. 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, I hate math or counting. Make it go up a bit. So basically, that casts the light on the particles. Oh, excuse me. I think I have a cold. So now, this is very important. Shadowlet for aux on. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Oh, it adds shadows to the particles. I mean, just look at that genius. But adding shading does increase render times, unfortunately. Because basically you're adding shadows onto particles, and there's about 400,000 of them. Well, there was about 3 million in the last one, so I want to keep this one nice and low. We can duplicate, I don't like that word, the light, and just put one just down here. Nope, that was changing the Z. Move one down here. When the cursor changes and it's really laggy, you'll know it's moved. Because, oh dear, it hasn't moved. I'm going to drop the quality and just lower it down to there. Gonna duplicate it again, move it over here. Looking kind of funky. Gonna turn off the shading because it's making me go slow. Off. Thank you. Gonna go to the top view. Gonna reposition these lights. Gonna put one here. Gonna put one there. There we go. Now that may not actually do anything, but gonna go back to full. Turn back the shading on. Turn back the shading on. God, I cannot speak English. Turn it back on. There we go. That's how you talk. Just gotta wait. Did those lights do anything? Yes, I did. So we want to... I'm going to take off the orange because it's looking kind of funky. Making it look yellow. We don't want that. Okay, that just looks white. You know what? I'm going to take off these two lights. It's making it look too bright. Yeah, there we go. So now, let's see which way it rotates. I want to get to the bit. I want to get to a part where the particles rotate towards the camera. It looks like hair. I've created hair in After Effects. That could. Please don't use After Effects as a hair supplement. Not a good idea. Can just change it to quarter just to speed up that and turn off shading. It's always a good idea. Go down. See, this is what happens. You try and change it when it's rendering and it's just Okay. A bit quicker. I want to get a bit where it's going towards the camera, so I can show you something. I've got a secret to tell you now. Why is it not going towards the camera? It usually does. Okay, you're facing the wrong way. Oh, that's just mean. Oh, come on. Yes. Yes. Keep going. Okay, I'm just going to pause it and try and find a bit where it's towards the camera, because this is just getting boring. Yeah, if it isn't gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna pause it. I'm sorry, I cheated. I just moved the camera. I was getting tired of that. And that does look a bit dark now, doesn't it? So let's move this over this way. Try and illuminate the area. Because I'm quite posh, you see. Oh wait, I've turned shading off. God. Oh now I've got to wait for it to render. This is not my day. It is not my day. It's my day. So let's turn back on the shading. Ay ay ay. That doesn't know. It better look good. Better look better. Better look better. Please be brighter. Please be brighter. Please be brighter. Please be brighter. Oh, that'll do. Right. Now I can show you depth of field, the greatest thing known to man. We click on the camera and we double tap A. Double tap it, yeah. Now we have an option called depth of field. Yeah, depth of field. We turn it on just by dragging it across. Oh, and here come the render times. Depth of field, motion blur, and shading. It will kill you with render times. Look, I've just turned it on and it's going slow. I'm going to have to put it down to quarter now. I'm going to pause it while this renders. I'm sorry. Why do you hate me? Why? Why? Oh, damn it. Yeah, it sort of crashed on me because I sort of turned on motion blur and had about a huge amount of blur, so it broke. So I'll just try and carry on in the original one. So yeah, so you've turned on depth of field. Focus distance. What does it mean? To tell you that, I have to go to the top view. Ah! Oh, that was incredibly cheesy. Okay. Focus distance is basically where the camera is focused. You see that line moving? Do you? Well, yeah. That's where it's focused. That's the focus point of the camera. So there's going to be a tiny strip which is going to be in focus, and the size of that strip is dependent on the aperture. So for some reason, the larger the number, the smaller the strip. Yeah. So if you've got an aperture of about 10 pixels, there's going to be quite a lot in focus. And if you have an aperture of 1,000 pixels, there's going to be like nothing in focus, just a tiny amount. And blur level is how big the blur is. So if you've got a blur level of 0, there's no blur. If you have a blur level of about 200, there's plenty of blur. If there's a blur level of 2000, you're dead. Your computer's just exploded in your face, and you are now splattered across your room. And your mum will walk in and you see the mess, and she goes, "Oh, you shouldn't have put on that much depth of field." And now she'll have to clear up the mess, and it's gone in the carpet, which you spent lots of money on. Okay, that's depth of field. I was going to do a whole tutorial on that, but I've just explained it in a minute. Yeah. Glow. That's something else you want to add, because it just looks so awesome. Look at it. Oh, I want to eat it all up. It's like a good little baby. We want to make it 32-bit, not 8-bit, because watch the glow, watch the glow, watch the glow, watch the glow. It is gone. It looks terrible. 32-bit. It's I don't actually know what it is, but it just makes it look so much more better. I have me good English, yes. The glow. For this, I had 2 glows. One of them was a very large but dim glow, so it's just an area effect. The glow threshold, you want to increase that because I can explain it to you. The glow threshold basically controls it determines what light areas get the glow. So if it's a low number, it's gonna think that not light colours like dark mid-tones, not highlights, are gonna get a glow, and that doesn't look good. So like 60 or something, the glow is gonna affect other bits. I need to do it on that one as well. The glow will affect more areas. It's not doing much on this, but I'll just add a standard glow because that's changed. So it's affect stylized glow, in case you didn't know. So yeah, it starts to affect some of the areas like that, and it can get really highlighted, like overexposed. So we have to increase the threshold, increase the radius, and decrease the intensity a lot. When you're using 32-bit, you have to decrease it a lot. So now that's like a nice subtle glow. And then I duplicated it, I said it right, and changed the radius down, and the intensity down, so that's more of a closer glow, if that makes any sense to you. So it's more the... Go away, mopeds! Sounds like you're on a hairdryer. So yeah, that's it. They are. It's a hairdryer with wheels, I'm sorry. So that's like another glow. We can make this one a bit bigger. Okay. That looks nice and dandy. Yeah. And for the other video I duplicated, said it right again, yes, I duplicated the layer and pressed U, and my computer broke. And I just offsetted the X rotation by typing in plus 300, so that will add 300 onto value, so it's moved. And as you can see, it hasn't moved much. I think it might have been the Y. I have not got the best of memories, if you might have noticed. You basically have to offset one of the values till it looks completely different. There we go. So I duplicated it, made it, I moved it round, and I started it when the vocals started. Also, good shortcut, if you select an audio layer and double tap L, the L key, it will bring up the waveform. And so I started the second particles when the vocals started. So if I just put the quality down to third, this is full HD by the way, but it's slightly shorter. So yes, I'm going to just quickly do that. It's going to turn off that. Don't want it coming out of my speakers and making it go all copyrighted. So This only took an hour to render a minute, which was not bad in HD. I tried to add more particle elements to this, but I found that it just didn't work. It's good to keep it simple. Now, this may not look simple, but you may feel you want to add on more stuff. Just don't. Keep it as it is. I was going to add like lots of tiny particles flying off the line, smoke cloud things, everything, and it just wouldn't. It wasn't going to work because it was just too much. Less is more. It's always a good thing. So you can see here that particle, and then they all come out. And so this, yes, this was linked to the physics time factor, and the value I had for that was standard. Didn't really change much on it, did I? No, I did not. You can also download a plugin called Sound Keys, and that will separate the. It's better at separating the different frequencies than just high and low frequency. It can separate out drums, guitars, vocals. So if you want particles to follow just the vocals, and you don't have an audio track which is just vocals, it will try and separate it out, and you can link it to that. There's tutorials out there, but I don't know how to use it, so I can't do a tutorial on it, and I don't have it, so yeah. Ooh, this is quite a long tutorial. I just realised, just all the time, it's going to be about 37 minutes. Let's just render a full version. That was quite quick. That was very quick. And also, I animated the camera on this. I don't think it's saved when I did. No, I didn't save it. I just added a very slow camera move so it's panning round. And it's a very subtle effect, but it's a good one. It makes it look awesome. So yeah, this has gone quite a long time. I'm gonna get like hour-long tutorials, maybe 2. I am planning one. Ooh, I am planning one. Yeah, fume effects, in case you wanted to know. Another one. Yeah, something to do with a force field. Oh, I said too much. I'm sorry. Okay. One thing, just very quickly, people have said on the comments, "What's that funny noise on your microphone?" I'm not mocking you, I'm just doing my comment voice. Yeah, there's a slight crackling and a whistling noise. That's because this is a Rode video mic. It's a video mic. My nose was all bunged up. It's for video cameras. Like, I use it for my DSLR Canon 550D DSLR camera, which is awesome, by the way. Get one, they're very good. I highly recommend one. Tam, get one if you're watching this. If you don't get one, you're going to get the back of my hand. I promise you that. Yeah. Yeah, it's for video cameras, and it's not really meant for computers. It's the only mic I have. Any other mic is either one I have to put into my mouth, physically put into my mouth, so it will sound like. Yeah, I have to basically. I've just got lots of saliva on my phone thing. I have to basically eat the mic to be heard, and it sounds terrible. I used it years ago, and it's just. I am tempted to buy a new mic, to get a mic for the computer, but I've been spending it on film equipment. Like, I've just received a 230 quid body thing for my Steadicam, so I should stop buying things. Yeah, this is now 40 minutes long. I'm sorry. I'm just going to end it here. If you like this tutorial, give us a sub, or a comment, or a like. I don't know, anything. Anything would be nice. Yeah. Bye! Why do I do this? Why?